Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to the Unified Personal Evolution. My name is Wendy Morgan, and I'm a spiritual mentor, and I'm joined today. Sorry, my tongue is not hooking up with my brain, and I'm joined
You're in
today
a rush.
exactly by my wonderful co-host and dear friend, Dr. Velvet. Dr. Velvet, you'd like to say hello?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Velvet, the metaphysician, and so happy to be here with you today.
All right, guys. So couple good things that are coming down. One, get your paper and your pencil ready because today is going to be homework day. We kind of set you up with some nice foundations of what things that you can do on your own, kind of get familiar with different diagnostic tools, what feels right for you, and start to kind of do some your own investigative work into yourself as to where you're holding certain programs that are holding you behind, and also giving you the tools via the tapping and potentially Agape as to how to clear them out. Now today we're going to go really into some good old homework now, really applicable, hands-on to raise your vibration and also to get you a bit more focused. And lastly, as a gift, this one will always be available to you. So once this is uploaded on YouTube, it'll be there. It'll always be there. You can always refer back to it. So this one, if you want to pull it out of the archives, we're not going to charge a small fee for that, or donation, I should say. This is all yours. It's always going to be there. So watch it as many times as you like. So hang on a minute. All right. So with that, let me share my screen. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so today, guys, getting excited about your dreams and visions with healthy habits. And as we already said, I'll introduce myself. My name is Wendy Morgan, and I'm joined today by my lovely co-host, Dr. Velvet, who's a metaphysician. If we do have 4 other videos that basically back this particular training up today, they are on YouTube. They are archived. If you'd like to watch them, please reach out to me. The information will be at the end of this particular webinar. So with that, guys, Velvet and I are going to kind of split up this training. I'm going to take the first half. She's going to take the second half. So the first half is going to be empowerment through healthy habits, and I'm going to cover that. And Velvet, you're going to cover what?
I'm going to do Welcome to Your Dreams and Visions with a twist.
So let's just jump right on in because let's just jump right in. So empowerment through healthy habits. So it's time to support what you've learned so far. And so we want to incorporate some really good healthy habits that will start programming you into some higher vibrational frequencies within your body. So first, we're going to learn how to flip the vibration by, we've already talked about being the observer of your thoughts, having gratitude and journaling your gratitude. And then we're going to tally that up for the week. And that's going to be the first 3 steps that we're going to hit when it comes to the healthy habits. So let's just jump right in exactly what those are. So empowerment through healthy habits. What I mean by flipping the vibration, it all starts with you being the observer. So when you catch yourself having a low vibrational thought, I want you to flip it. You may not catch it right away and don't feel bad. I remember when I first started out this particular technique, I might have theoretically said, oh my God, that was just so stupid. Why did I do it in that order? And then maybe 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I just had that thought, that low vibrational thought of, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. It's okay. Whenever you catch it, still flip it around. But as you do this more and more and more, you're going to be able to catch it even before you think the thought, or even before you speak those words. So even sometimes in traffic, right, we're driving along and all of a sudden somebody cuts us off. You little, right, get really angry, and we have those low vibrational thoughts. And if you can catch yourself either right in the moment or even moments afterwards, I still want you to work on flipping that vibration as well. So what do I mean by flipping the vibration? So after you've caught yourself in having a low vibrational thought, we want you to turn around and flip it with 3 high vibrational statements to cancel out that previous thought. So what we're doing is, if you hypothetically, someone's, everybody can relate to somebody cutting us off, right, in traffic. So if someone cut me off in traffic and I'm like, oh my gosh, just really startled me and I'm really angry. Wait a minute. Deep breath. So that vibration of me just getting a fearful and angry toward that person, that is a low vibration. It's currently vibrating in my body. We don't want that vibration to stick and therefore broadcast out and welcome new experiences that are pretty much the same. So we want to cancel those thoughts out. And the way to do it is basically, again, if I'm in traffic, go deep breath. So try to find that calm space, right? And just say 3 things. If you can say 3 things about the actual driver or the actual incident that is currently happening, great. Such as, God bless you. I presume you're probably in a rush. And I asked that you are more aware of your surroundings. And I'm really grateful that I have brakes that work. And I'm really grateful that I was observant to actually see the person coming in. If you could do that about the actual situation, give praise, give blessings, et cetera, great. Sometimes, right, we might be too in an emotional state to really be able to say something positive about what's going down. So therefore, make more of a general subject about, which I kind of gave you an example just a while ago, which is, I'm grateful I'm in a very sturdy car. Therefore, if I were to get in an accident, I know I'd be protected. I am grateful I have great brakes. That's a kind of general situation. It's not necessarily about the person or about how I reacted to the person. It's just basically about something general. And if that's a little bit too challenging even yet, then go even more general, more broad, in the way of, okay, I'm fine. I'm so grateful that I'm fine. I'm so grateful that I'm able to breathe and I'm in my body. I am so grateful that I'm able to have a car and I'm able to drive from A to Z. I am so grateful, and really say things though, guys, that you really can find that gratitude in that statement. Val, can you think of anything else that we could go here? Because I know you've done this a million times.
Yeah, and if you're doing the EFT, you'll even find yourself when you're driving, oh, let that go. Let that go. I'm safe. I was protected today. So you've got a lot of tools that you can fall back on if you have a hard time finding those positive statements. You've got EFT now. You have your higher mind, lower mind. You have your NLP. So we've given you some great tools just to start practicing with and just allow them to become a habit. And remember, that what they say in Atomic Habits is to make it easy for you to remember that habit. So maybe you want to put something on your dashboard or put a note somewhere on wherever you're sitting of like, everything works out for me. That is a really good go-to for me. I always say that everything works out for me. And I also always say when I'm in doubt is that there's a higher power that is watching over me and protecting me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. And guys, right there, that's a general statement. Everything's working out for me. You might be startled, right? Somebody pulls in front of you. That's kind of a common reaction. We didn't expect it. And we perceived that our safety's been threatened, but in truth, everything's works out for me and I'm fine. Thank you for that. All right, let's see, we'll get to the next one here. All right, the second part is having gratitude and journaling your gratitude. So this is the second piece of self-work that I'd like for you to engage upon. So the first piece of, we normally say homework, this is self-work. So first piece is really to stay observant to what you're thinking, to what you're speaking, to how you're reacting, not responding, but reacting. And then try to turn it around for something more in gratitude of higher vibration, that which we can, raise those vibrations about the scenario. The second piece is basically practicing gratitude in general. So before you even exit your bed, in the morning, alarm goes off, or maybe you're wonderful. I mean, you've got a great life in the point that you don't have to wake up by alarm. I'm one of those people. But basically, whatever, when you wake up, stay in bed for a few minutes. If you have to go use the restroom, fine, but come back to the bed and just sit there for a minute and just really breathe and take in this beautiful day. You woke up and you were gifted this wonderful day, and really find as many things as you can, 3 at least, that you're grateful for. This morning I woke up and I'm like, wow, I really love my room. I just got through decorating my room. So I really love the colors. They're just so inviting. Oh, I really love my lamps. I have like glass hanging lamps above my head. I really love my comforter. I love down comforters, and I have one on my bed, and I just love that I'm warm, and I love the fact that I have my cat with me, and I love this. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be sunny, and I look forward, and I'm excited to working with Velvet and giving you guys this information. I am just so grateful, God. Thank you so much. Thank you. And again, just whatever you can, and just give a really good moment, because what does that do? That starts you off. That starts your day off in a really high vibration. And then when you go to bed, I'd like for you to work on going to bed at least 20 to 30 minutes earlier. Take that as time for you, whether that's time in, where you're also meditating, but definitely journaling. So, pick up your book, your journaling, your journal, and I'd like for you to write down and reflect back on your day. What really went well today? I'm going to write that down. Like for instance, if I was going to even just journal so far today, what went really well today? Well, my plumbing backed up. And so I'm like, well, I reached out, and guess what? The plumber's going to be here any second. That was quick. Usually they can take weeks. I'm really grateful he showed up right away. I'm really grateful that everything's working so far with technology that has a tendency sometimes of not working. Knock on wood, don't want to go ahead and test that one. But just write anything down and everything down that basically went really well. If you're walking in the street and someone goes, oh my gosh, I really love that scarf you're wearing. They didn't have to give you that compliment, but they did. So write that down. I got a compliment. And I want you to write those down every single night before you go to bed. Anything that was a great experience, just write it down on that journal. You have any extra thoughts there?
And it's just as important to write down the good things that you've done for someone as well. So, like where Wendy was talking about, oh, hey, your scarf is beautiful. There was a lady that was sitting in a restaurant all by herself, most amazing, beautiful woman. And Spirit just moved me to walk over to her and say, hey, you don't know me, but I just wanted to let you know how beautiful you are. Well, she was with a whole table full of people. And for some reason, she needed to hear that. And everybody said, see, see. So I didn't know why I was being led there, but listen to your inner guidance of where you can also be the brightness in somebody's life and write it down. Write down that experience as well.
So what you're going to do for the third piece of self-work is at the end of the week, whether it be a Saturday or Sunday, irrelevant, you choose a day, then I would like for you to look through your journal through the week and kind of tally up all the things that have gone well, all the many events that were there for you. And if I would actually welcome you to actually read through, oh my gosh, that's right. I got that compliment. Oh, and I gave that compliment to that woman, and you could see that smile go across her face. I'm sure Velvet got that, and that you receive that energy of good high vibration from, giving that wonderful compliment. I didn't get I didn't get a ticket when a cop passed me by and I was going 80 miles an hour. That actually happened. Look at that. Look at all the things wonderful that happened. And you can tally them up in your brain, or if you want to actually literally, use tally marks. And so what I want you to do is, so what the point of this exercise is I want you to realize the truth here, guys. You created all of these experiences. Remember the last 4 times we're talking about you create everything. Your vibration in your body, whether it's a focused vibration, right? And we're going to talk about that more as we go into Velvet's talk today, as we focus our vibration, we're going to create things in this world, or our unconscious vibrations that are stored in our cellular memory, those will consistently broadcast out and we'll be creating those. Either which way, we are creating all of these experiences. Just like I created that quick turnaround of the plumber being here today, like within 30 minutes. That's amazing. I did that. So believe in yourself. That's what this is all about, guys. The more you step into the alignment of the creator that has created everything, created you, you cannot separate that energy from the creator and from your soul. You cannot. It's the same energy, it's the same consciousness. And you need to step into that awareness of feeling empowered. Believe in yourself that you do have the power. I will offer, so that's the third of the three exercises and self-work that I have for you today. We will be continuing those through the empowerment through healthy habits, but I want you to really get your hand on these three, really see how you feel, 1, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know when we're going to come back to continue these, but we will. But this is something I want you to work on every single day, okay? And Velvet's going to work on more with you as far as things to do, because we got some great ideas for you, and we're going to continue moving through. So practice this as your part 1. And now we're going to go into how do we bring those dreams into fruition? Well, we first need to acknowledge what those dreams are so we can focus on them. Velvet?
Yeah, so we can go ahead and move to the next slide. But you guys, um, this is what Wendy gave you is a perfect foundation for not only the book we're going to introduce you to today, but also the work that's getting ready to unfold. So we're going to hop right into your dreams and visions. So I'm going to show you the difference in what we're going to do today than what a typical vision board is. And we're going to do steps. Step 1 is clear your space. Step 2, get very clear. And step 3, track everything. Now, don't worry about this right now, but you can already start seeing where some of what Wendy was already talking about earlier are going to play a huge role in what you're getting ready to do now. So yeah, let's move to the next slide. So the difference, typically when we do a vision board, we scatter everything that we want and hope for and dream for all on one board. And it looks very confusing. And sometimes we walk by that board and we think, oh, I haven't gotten that yet. I need to work on this. And oh, this is the goal I need to work on today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really simplify this for you to expedite and expedite your manifestations. So we're only going to work on one desire at a time. Now, you can put this desire on a vision board if you want. You can put it on a piece of paper, and I'm going to show you at the end how I did that. And you can also write it in your journal that Wendy was telling you to have on hand. You're going to stick with that desire until it makes manifest. You're not going to worry about any other goal, any other want, but what you will notice is that the other things in your life are now falling into place and now becoming even easier. You'll still want to write down what you've made manifest, but you're going to stick with this one desire until it makes manifest. And even if you get close, don't stop. You've got to keep going. We're also going to pay attention to what arises to better understand our subconscious belief, lies, blocks, and programs. And I'm going to give you an example of this a little bit later, or I might do it in just a minute, but let me go ahead and finish this next one. We're going to make it a strong habit to express gratitude for every little thing that arises. And you're going to say to me, but even a penny? Yes, a penny. Do you guys remember when you were kids and you'd look down and you'd find that penny and you would pick it up and how you cherished it? So when I was young, I had a great big fish bowl. Now, this is a little one, but this fish bowl was huge. And I always stuck money that I cleaned out the car and would find money. I would vacuum and find money. I would find money on the ground, and I got money just for watering plants at times. And that fish bowl was full. And every night before I went to bed, I was always grateful for what was in there. So we're going to go ahead and move to the next slide. And I think I'm going to share that story with you on the next one. So the step one is clearing your space. So this is more than just making sure your desk is organized. Those things are important because if my desk is cluttered, I don't have a clear consciousness. My attention now is drawn to the crayons that are on my desk that don't belong there, or maybe some notes that I haven't taken care of that are now drawing my attention to those notes rather than focusing on what I need to do in the present moment. So you can always put your things away and then take them out when you need them. And it's also more than just clearing out the junk in your closet. Now, when we clear the junk out of our closet and our drawers and all of that stuff, it does make room for greater abundance, a new abundance, a fresh way of looking at things. But it's more importantly to recognize what we're hanging on to and how it's weighing down our mind. It's also about clearing the clutter in our mind. So let's say that I have a size 2 and I've never worn a size 2. Thank you for you lucky gals. Some of you probably have, but I've never worn a size 2. But if I had a size 2 in my closet and I refused to get rid of those pants, stating, oh, when I finally lose the weight, when I get healthier, when this changes, guess what? That now puts it out into the future and it's never obtained. So those pants are reminding me where I am not. And that reminding me of where I am not is a lower vibration, right? There's nothing wrong with desire. We all have things that we want that we don't have right now, but a constant reminder of, look, you failed on your diet again. Look, it's been a year now and those pants are still sitting in that closet. Those can be negative clutters within your closet, but also within your mind. So write things down in your daily day timer. Every single day, write down things in your day timer. Use post-it notes so that when you finished a project, you just simply throw that post-it note away. And I typically don't throw them away because somebody will inevitably say, but you didn't do that. And I will put it in my day timer. So all of my post-it notes are in my day timer so I can say, no, I completed it on such and such day. So you want to organize your space for function and beauty, not just being functional, clearing everything off. Bring the beauty in, bring the smells in. These are going to be very important, and you'll see that at the end slide too. So clearing our space allows us clarity on our blocks. So I'm going to share a story with you. Many of you don't know, and those of you that have known me for a while, you know I've been a millionaire 3 times. So one of the times I became a millionaire, it was because I married into somebody who was very wealthy. Now, you wouldn't know it by looking at him or talking to him. We owned a tobacco farm. I worked that tobacco farm. But what my program was is that I can be a millionaire, but somebody else needs to take care of the money. So I never saw any of it. And matter of fact, it was so bad that when we would go grocery shopping, he would say, you have $25 to spend on groceries this week. Now, we had 4 people in the house, 2 kids and 2 adults, $25 to go grocery shopping. And most of it was what he wanted, not what the children needed. The other thing is that I worked that tobacco farm, but I never received a cent for working on the farm. So that's one of the blocks that we have, is that we have all this money around us, but that somebody else is taking care of it. Somebody else needs to take care of me. So I want you to think about what Wendy said earlier, is that this is about recognizing yourself. This is about recognizing your gift, your power, your strength, your ability to have money. You are a female that has been programmed to think that we're weak, that we're supposed to be taken care of. And if the only way that we can ever get any money is if we divorce them. Well, my block was so big that when he abused me, I was getting ready to become an instant millionaire. The attorney said, "You just got everything." And then I took him back. So I sabotaged myself and I lost everything, because once you take them back, you've forgiven them. So pay attention to your thoughts, so that when you're decluttering, think about what is it that the thoughts that you have that you're hanging on to these ideas. All right. So some of the thoughts is that someone has to take care of me. Here's a good one: that my gain only comes from a loss. So this means car accidents. This means inheritance, deaths, divorces. It can mean any of that. So if we attach that the only time I gain is if somebody else loses, or that there has to be a loss, we've got that as a belief, as a program that's running in the background. So write it down. Be aware of it. So Wendy, you have anything you'd like to add to that?
No, other than, guys, your space is a reflection of what's going on in your mind. If you have a cluttered space, that means you have a cluttered mind, which is not a right or a wrong, nor is it a judgment. It's just basically, so now you've already had the tools that Velvet and I have given you as to how to declutter that mind. Start asking those questions, start using your muscle testing to figure out what is cluttering your mind, what's making you resistant, what's overwhelming you. And as you basically declutter the mind, you're going to find it much easier to declutter your space and become more
That's right.
conscious.
Absolutely. And allow more abundance. So now step 2 is getting really clear. So we need to make up our mind right now what you want. What is it that you want? Maybe you need a new car, or want a new car, better house, more money, a vacation, more clients, whatever it is. I want you to write it down. And it's not as simple as just writing down, I want a new car. Now it's time to get even clearer. So underneath that car, what kind of car do you want? What kind of house do you want? How much money do you want? Where do you want to vacation? What type of clients do you want? I'm really successful in getting practitioners and doctors on my team. And the reason is because I was very clear on the type of client, brand partner I wanted. So that doesn't mean that I won't talk to anybody else about it. I do. I have lots of different kinds of people on my team, but I love that I have as many practitioners and physicians on my team, because I resonate with them. They resonate with me. We work in harmony together. So even when you say you want new brand partners, it's okay for you to say what kind of brand partner you want. And I also know practitioners and physicians are dealing with lots of people. So it can bring them, it can increase their income. So there was a win-win for the nurturer in me, is that now these people are taking care of people that I can't contact with, and that they're going to benefit from helping them. Now, when you also think about a new car or a better house, I remember as a child, my mother was kind of house hunting for a place for us to live up in New York. And we rode out to the middle of nowhere, like this field of flowers was everywhere. And there was this little white house. And as we walked into the little white house, the breeze was blowing, and the curtains were blowing, and it had this beautiful scent. It was decorated very modestly. It was just very quaint. And I remember thinking in my mind, when I grow up, this is how I want to feel. This is the kind of home I want. Now, I live out in a field and I have wildflowers everywhere and I grow flowers. And I specifically wanted my house to function to where the breeze was always moving in our home. My curtains flow constantly, but it's not small. It's a little bit bigger than this house that we saw, but it has the same feeling. So the feeling is important. Like when you want that new car, what kind of car do you want? But what do you want to feel like when you're sitting behind the wheel? And I always tell people too, don't judge somebody else's prosperity, because I buy cars for function, not to impress you. Have I had Suburbans? Have I had Tahoes? Yes, because they were functional, not to make an impression, right? And there was a practitioner I had one time said, well, you're a doctor. You're supposed to have this kind of car. I said, oh, no, 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 no. Don't even go there with me, because I'm to earth. I'm grounded. It has to be functional. So think about the kind of smell that you want. All of these things are going to play a key part. Now, let's say, for instance, you say you want more money, and $10,000 a week is quite a stretch for you. Maybe you can't do that yet. Start out with $100 extra a week. Start out with extra $500 a week. Move it up. You don't have to say, okay, it's this or nothing. You can say, hey, let me start here. Because remember what I said, you're going to start with one goal and you're going to stick to that goal. And then once you do that, then you can move to the next goal. So why not make the next goal $1,000 extra a week? And maybe you want more brand partners. How many brand partners do you want this week? And if you can say reasonably in your mind, like that's it, your reasonable mind is going to say, hey, but you can really only get one brand partner, then stick with that until you get used to the idea that you can have more. I mean, I went into an event on a weekend and got 5 new brand partners. It can happen, but you have to be able to move into it of what it looks like, what it feels like, and don't let it scare you, right? So some people say, I want 5 brand partners, but I don't know how I'm going to take care of them. I want $10,000, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that money. Get rid of that and set those positive tones for yourself. So get very, 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 very clear. Wendy, would you like to add anything?
Yes. So earlier we were talking about, healthy empowerment habits, if necessary, if it's too emotional, we said keep it broad. This is where you keep it so super duper focused. I remember my grandmother always saying, be careful what you ask for. And man, was she correct, right? Because if you go, oh, I want a house that's my own. I just want a house that's my own. And you keep it broad, then all of a sudden someone might will you a house and it might be literally a shack that's in the middle of a dump, and you're like, oh, this wasn't what I wanted. Be careful what you asked for. That's why Velvet's saying, be very specific, very much focused. What do you want it to look like? How do you want it to feel? As Velvet said, the breeze running through the house, is that important to you? Do you want warm floors, et cetera, et cetera? So really get into that focus. Now, what some people come across when we start to entering this type of work of creating a vision for ourselves, is sometimes we don't know what we want because there's so much chaos, there's so much clutter in the mind, and we've lived our lives for other people for, several decades. That's okay. Keep doing the work that we've already taught you as far as finding your programs and tapping them out and, clearing them up so you have a higher vibration. The more you come into your alignment of who you are, you're going to feel, let me put a pen in that. I always go like to refer to, we all have a survival bubble. And that means an energy bubble that's around us. Everybody has a survivor bubble. And billionaires, their survival bubble is huge, right? That means they can fit a lot of things into that bubble. They can fit a lot of ideas, a lot of people, a lot of money that's constantly flowing in and out, many different houses, you name it. But as we have gone, but other people, as we've gone through our life, maybe through trauma, drama, always living for the other, having a child that is handicapped, et cetera, that bubble gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And it gets so tight that we don't have the ability to have a creative force within ourselves to imagine what we even really want, right? We just drink that cup, even though it's a dirty water. We just don't care because we just need water in our body. And we're trying to teach you here is you don't have to settle. Settle is the old paradigm. We're in a whole new paradigm. We're teaching you how to acknowledge your programs, how to clear your programs, how to empower yourself, and how to focus your energy so therefore you can create things in your life and bring them to fruition. So again, just keep doing the work and you will find all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I want that. I want to create that. I want a house that has glass or kitchen that has glass cupboards. Whatever it may be. Sorry, my daughter just entered the room. She's bringing the cats in because there's somebody the plumber's downstairs. So be careful what you ask for. And all you have to do in the way of being careful to that is just focus, get those fine details in that Velvet was speaking about.
Yeah, and you brought up a fine point about the millionaires too and their bubble. Everybody needs to hear this, and this is going to be written in the book that you guys are going to be introduced to today. Money does not solve money blocks. So it doesn't matter whether you're a millionaire or if you're a bum on the street. Money does not solve money blocks. That you have to do, and give yourself permission to want. Yeah, so we'll go on to the next slide. So step 3 is to track everything. Now, Wendy already brought this up and she was talking about it in gratitude, all the things that are going good for you. But what we're going to do in addition to that is you're going to write down every single win, no matter how big or how small, and you're going to focus on that. So what I mean by a win, it's of value. So today, my husband brought me a $10 scratch off and I won $50. So guess where that went? Yes, and it was celebrated. Thank you. Look how amazing this is. This is great. So you just go through that appreciation, because how many times does somebody win something and then they just like, oh, okay, I won this, but there's no moment to celebrate. So that's going to allow for an even bigger win in my life. But hey, today, $50 is great, right? And I don't even need to know what to do with it right now. I'm just still celebrating that I got it. I still hold on to it. So I teach my team to do this every single day. And it's going to be important to you, is to go into your back office in LifeWave. And over to the right, there's a column that tells you your left volume and your right volume. And every day, you're going to put that in your day timer. And then you're going to look to the left and you're going to write down the amount that you are due to get paid from that volume that's over to the right. You're going to do it every day. And sometimes I'll do it 2 or 3 times a day. You might be wondering, like, gosh, is there going to be that much of a change? Yes. And you should expect that change, because if your team is enrolling people at 2:00 in the afternoon, guess what? Cha-ching comes into your back office. At 6:00 at night, a brand partner signs somebody up. Cha-ching. It's in your bank now. So celebrate those wins with your team too. Hey, I noticed you signed up a new partner. Way to go. Yay for you. So you're not only celebrating for yourself, but you're also celebrating with them. The other thing is that it has to be any kind of value when it comes to this with the money, is that it's the penny that you picked up, and it can only be 1 penny, but you're going to write down that 1 penny on the sheet that I'm going to provide you today. All right. So whether it's a penny, whether it's $10, whether it's $100, you're going to put it down on your sheet. So the next thing is write down everything else of value that comes your way. So yesterday we were given like this 25, 30 pound turkey. And she said, would you guys mind taking that for me? And I'm like, what? A turkey? Well, that turkey had a $30 value. So guess what? I put it on my sheet. So write down everything that comes your way that's of value. Meat, food, eggs, coffee. Somebody buys you coffee. What would that cup of coffee cost you? A trip. What would that trip have cost you? Right? Somebody gave you a ride. What would that ride have cost you? And you are going to be amazed of the value that you are experiencing every single day. Now, I'm going to take a pause real quick before I move on to that slide. And I'm sure Wendy might have something to say
Yeah.
on this one too. But I do want to say that there's a couple of comments on here. If you always get pennies, once you start writing it down and appreciating it, you're going to start seeing that they turn into dimes, nickels, quarters, even dollars. And then Jen also says that's like getting attention or affection when you're sick, right? We get into that block that the only way I'm going to be taken care of is if I'm sick, right? Or I'm only going to get attention if I'm sick. And then the other one that Jen says is, I've had a tough time keeping a LifeWave team. That might be a really good goal to work on. That might be a desire that could really come into play for you. But also remember what Wendy said earlier. Take that statement and now flip it around. My team loves me. My team is loyal. Yes. And I love Wendy's mantra, how much better can it get? Absolutely. You still have that special needs child that needs you. Well, yeah, you do. All right. So Wendy, I think you wanted to add something on this value sheet here.
Yeah. Well, there are some members here that are not part of LifeWave company and team. And, you can apply this as well if you have your own business, oh my gosh, I just got a new client. Again, celebrate with your team. That's great. And also the same thing goes if you have a 9-to-5er, how much better did the relationships, the conversations, how long have you worked there? It's eventually going to get to the point where, do I want to go ahead and, ask for a raise, or maybe the raise might be offered to you. Always keep your eyes open for all the benefits, not the benefits, all the new wins that happen. There's wins happen, little ones happen every single day of your life. And the thing is, we just need to be aware of that. Sometimes we're just so drawn up in chop wood, carry water that we just don't see those wins. So you can apply this to whatever frame of life that you have. And when Jenny says, you have that special needs child that needs you, yes, she does have an actual special needs child. Yes, Jenny, I understand you have to be there for the child, but you've got to remember, you also created the parameters in the beginning of overextending yourself to take care of that of the other. And now you're learning how I need to pull some of that energy back and take care of me. Because if you fall, if you're sick, if you're down, we're not going to be able to take care of anybody else, right? So that's why taking the time for you, reprogramming yourself, focusing on the things that you want, you need, you desire, et cetera, before you think, oh, I need to be there for my child. The child's going to be okay. Unless it's a life or death situation, they're okay. You need to take care of you. And that's something that you're going to have to work and play with on yourself, because you have so much momentum already going for, I'm putting the child first and I'm taking care of the child all the time. And then I'm last in maybe the next 10 minutes of the night before I go to bed, and actually sleep is the one thing I want to give myself. That's where you've been. Well, we're going to try to turn that. We're going to flip that conversation. We're going to flip that energy. We're going to flip all of that attention and bring more of that to yourself. And you'd be surprised that the more you focus on you and changing you and transmutating that energy, you're actually being a role model to your child to what they need to do. And number two, we're also not enabling them as much. So that's all I'm going to say, because I can get down a very, very deep rabbit hole as far as human psychology, but I think that pretty much answers it for you.
Yeah, and you bring up a valid point too. And I'm not saying Jenny has this at all, but there was another Jen that said she can't hold on to a team or whatever. That is a money block, right? You can literally have a grandchild who's sick, but you need to sign somebody up, but you're going to take care of the grandchild first because you've got a money block, because there's money coming in. You need to sign up that partner, but now you feel that you have to go over here. So the reason that I say that is I have found myself guilty of that many times, of distracting myself and doing what I needed to take care of myself, and blaming it. And I'm not saying anybody's blaming, but I did, is like, oh, I couldn't do that because my kid was sick today. I couldn't do that because the car was broken down today. Those are money blocks. If your car broke down, you need to write it down and you need to see how it has become a block for you. Right. So we're going to go ahead and go to this sheet. I'm going to, once we stop the sharing in a little bit, because I need to share my screen next, is this is the sheet that I'm going to provide you. You're welcome to create your own, but you're going to write down the date and receive. So I've got the $50 in there. I also got $150 from something. I received a turkey that was worth $30. Now, if I had found any money, I haven't been out of my house today, so didn't find any money yet, but if I had found any money, I would put it here. If I learned something about myself, I would put it here. If I experienced something of value, I would put it here, right? And you're going to do this every day. Now, Wendy, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop that share so I can do this. And I want everybody to follow along.
That's okay, but before we go any further, so guys, right there, we've got a little overlap, right? With the journal from that piece of paper, the chart. You can combine the two. You don't have to do two separate ones. You can combine any way you wish to make it work for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I shared with you that my desire is to earn Punta Cana trip. Now, why did I not put when in there? Because I'm being very exact. I know that I have to earn this trip. It's not something that I'm just automatically going to win. I'm not putting my name in the hat for it to be drawn. So be very, very clear about this. If you want this trip, that you do have to earn it. It's an incentive trip for a reason. It's an incentive from all of your efforts that you have put in. Also, you're telling yourself, I'm earning this. I know the action that I need to take to earn it, but winning is like the lottery. It's the luck of the draw. And I wanted no part of that energy in this trip. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify a little more, because remember, now it's about going deeper. I want to earn more than enough points for both my husband and I to take this luxurious, all expense paid trip together. Why did I say earn more than enough? Anybody
Coming
want
from
to take a guess?
abundance.
Yes, I'm coming from abundance, but Kate, didn't we experience where somebody thought they won the trip on our team and they were only 2 points short?
Right. I do
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
So
So
see,
we want
that
to
is,
know and do more than what's required, just in case. Just do the extra guarantee.
Yeah, remove the
This
just
isn't
in
a
case though.
contest.
Yeah,
This
remove the
is,
just in case. That's
yeah,
a lower
oh,
vibration. So I just wanted
gotcha. Yes, that's an important distinction. Thank you.
yes, that's what we're here for. So I want to earn more than enough points. I'm abundant, it's flowing. I know that I'm assured with more than enough points. Now, the next one, and this is where it gets really juicy. I want a pleasant and relaxing experience where I am pampered and can just relax without interruptions. I want to read books, go shop, and enjoy the sights and enjoy the dance. So now I've added the element of my activity and what kind of experience that I want, so that now I am less likely to go somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? Is that I am making a distinction. No, I'm going here because I'm not going to be interrupted. I'm going to be out of the country. I'm going to get to read my books without interruption. I'm going to get to go shopping someplace I've never gone shopping before. And you can let that energy build. And as it begins to build, there's a feeling that happens deep within us. So then I go another deeper level. I want to experience this, and I'm naming it, I'm claiming it, I'm affirming it. I want to experience the beaches of Punta Cana. I want to experience the fine dining, the lighting, the atmosphere, the wonderful smells, the people, and the peaceful walks. So I've claimed where I'm going on vacation. And I've also claimed, how am I getting there? I'm going to earn this trip. I want as many of my team members that want to earn this trip to celebrate with me, and each of us connecting on a whole new level of consciousness. So I see Punta Cana as a next level of consciousness. I have traveled. I've been on vacations before. I've just never been to any place like this before. So now I know that that's a raise and a rising of my consciousness, but I also want my team, those who want to be there with me so that we can enjoy this experience as a team effort in celebrating that not only I got there from their efforts, but also mine and ours working together so everybody gets to enjoy the trip. And as a nurturer, I had to add that, because if I did not, this would have knocked it completely out of balance. I love giving gifts to people. I love sharing my life with people. I have to be very, very careful of taking care of my own needs, because I'm a person that will totally go broke in order to take care of somebody else. So I really have to watch that,
Okay.
right?
Anybody who's done that, raise their hand.
I'll raise both my hands and my feet. So if you know what kind of person you are, add that into your vision, into your dream, so that you now feel satisfied and you don't feel like you're leaving anybody behind, or whatever your type is. You can just kind of play with it. Now, because this is so important, and if you guys have these written up, please reach out to Wendy and I shouldn't speak for Wendy. I know she'll be glad to help you, but I did throw her in there. Reach out to us. We want you to be able to achieve whatever dream and desire that you want to achieve. All right. So I'm going to stop the share
Before you
on
do,
that.
before you
Yeah.
do. So anybody who is part of LifeWave, and take a picture of this, right? Because I know I've been in the place where I did not know what I wanted. I did not know how to put it into words because I was so overwhelmed. So take a picture of this, put it to, and change things up if you need to for yourself, or use the words for yourself for you to focus on. That's okay too. That's okay too. And if you're not part of this particular company, no big deal. This is open to the public. You know, use this as a guideline to whatever you want to focus on and whatever you want to achieve or experience in life.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the other nice thing about this is it doesn't really matter what you want. So maybe you don't want to go on a trip, but the important thing is am I going to focus on any other desire until this comes fruition? No. This I have to stay, this is my desire. This I stay focused on this until I have achieved it. And then I can set a new one. But like I said, the miracles are going to begin to happen. And you're going to start seeing all this wonderful stuff flowing to you, and take it as a sign that the universe has heard you and is supporting you, and that it's given you everything that you've desired, even secretly. It's amazing.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is awesome. And so guys, like I have a vision in my office, but I'm going to be honest. I'm in my office maybe 2 hours a day. So I'm not in here enough. But Velvet even inspired me. I'm going to take a whole bunch of pictures, blow them up of Putakana, and I'm going to put them in my kitchen, because I'm in my kitchen. Who's not in their kitchen, right? Almost, you're going to the kitchen at least once an hour. And so I can see that, and it's in my face. I'm like, oh yeah, I can imagine myself on that, on the beaches, walking around with Velvet or anyone else, and smiling and having great times and great conversations, and all these wonderful things, to dance and to be pampered and to go shopping in new places, et cetera, et cetera. So put these things in the place where you're going to see it quite often. The bathroom is a great place, right? We go to the bathroom at least once an hour. So that might be a good place for you too.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the share, but a lot of people might be saying, but why did you put I want? Because there is a lot of belief that you're supposed to state it as if it's in the now. It's because we typically feel that we can't have that desire, that it's wrong for us to want. So I put it in there wherever I want, because when I say I want something, it comes for me. So the other way typically hasn't worked for me, but this way works amazing for me.
Yeah. And actually, Velvet did a whole podcast where we talked about want versus need. And I will try to reload that up on that same YouTube page. So that's available for you guys as well, because that was done about 3 months ago, I think. And that was very good training as well. So guys, here we're at the end. Thank you. We have our sincere gratitude for participating in our training today. If you'd like to reach out to Velvet, there's her information. You can reach out to her email. There is my, I believe it is my Instagram URL right there. So you can just take a picture of that. You can access that way. You can, connect to me via Instagram. And we also are going to let you know, so what Velvet's been touching on a bit today is she found a book, and it's Get Rich Lucky Bitch. And she and I have already started reading it, and we're going to start plugging from that book to you to teach you exactly what it's been saying. Any other words that you'd like to share about that book, Velvet?
This book was introduced to me about 2 years ago, and I just ignored it. It was introduced to me by Barbara Larrabee. Now, Barbara Larrabee contributes a lot of her success to what she's learned in this book. And she moved from Texas. She's a senior. She moved all by herself, had everything that she needed to move to Florida. Now she lives in the apartment she wants. She's self-sustaining. Just amazing stories of how all of these desires come together. And she gives credit to this book in applying the processes that are in the book to kind of clear up these money blocks. So I was telling Wendy the other day, I had gotten the book, and I stayed in the introduction for like 3 days. And I never read the introduction for the book. The introduction to the book is not that long, but every single word I was hanging on to. Now I'm in like chapter 5, because now I'm like zooming through it. I just cannot put this book down. And when it came to me, and I thought, okay, Barbara's brought this book up again, and I'm seeing some other life-changing things, and Wendy and I are doing this course together. I need to check it out. So I think it's going to be a huge benefit to you guys if you want to grab this book. And I'm hoping that we'll continue to weave the material in through our presentations with you all.
Yeah, and it's available on Amazon for those that are interested. So with that, guys, so this recording will be uploaded in the Unified Personal Development, I should say Unified Personal Evolution. I've changed that name. And if you're not in that group, you can take a picture of that URL right there, and that will get you right into the Unified Personal group. Ignore, oh yeah, and any of the previous trainings, and there's actually the HTTP right there. Any of the previous trainings are in archive. If you'd like to receive those, just reach out to me. There's my telephone number, and there's a little bit of donation to get them pulled out, and then they're yours. You'll get to watch them as long as you want for as long as you want. And there's that particular link right there as well. This particular recording today will be uploaded. It will be available, be open from there on, because this is like kind of common knowledge. And we wanted to gift you guys because you've been such great team as far as hanging with us and still continuing following along and doing the work. And we want to reward you with that. So this one's all yours, guys. So with that, let me stop my share. All right. So Velvet, any thoughts or any questions?
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about what we have shared with you today, it might seem simple, but for a lot of people, just making that habit of gratitude can be very difficult. And I will share with you, I do have a journal. I do like writing in my journal, but my habit has become so automatic now that I don't even have to remind myself when I wake up in the morning or when I go to bed. I study a lot of Neville Goddard material as a metaphysician, and so it's like automatic. This will become automatic for you too. But at first, it might seem like, gosh, this is such a struggle. Oh, I forgot. Don't beat yourself up. Just do what you can and go back. You know, like if you can remember Monday and go back and write down what you were grateful for that day, that's great too.
All right. If no one has any questions, then really appreciate this. Is my cat Raja. It's kind of freaked out. There's a lot of noises going down. But anyways, you are so welcome to everybody. And again, guys, if you are struggling, if you are like just not getting any previous video that we've ever gone over, please, you're not bothering us. That's what we're here. We're here to serve you guys and to help you guys thrive. Reach out. We would not offer our number or information if we didn't want to hear from you. We love to hear from you. We love to help you. So please, if you have something that you're just like, I want more clarity on, or I need more one-on-one, please let us know. We'd be happy to help you out. So just reach out. Okay.
Absolutely.
So Velvet, thank you so very much. It's always an
Thank
honor
you.
and just wonderful to go ahead and do these things with you. And guys, we'll see you next Thursday.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.